Hi everybody, and welcome to your August 9th, 2025 full moon pick a card reading. So I have 3 piles in front of you, and we'll introduce those right now. We have the first pile is Charwhite. This is a stone of expanding the third eye and the crown chakra, intuition, clarity, connection between mind, body, and spirit. And let's see what your animal card is. We have the elk, number 3. Now, pile number 2 is the marine agate. So this is good for emotional soothing, healing, balancing, going with the flow, releasing and cleansing. Let's see what your animal totem card is. Well, a water creature, the alligator, number 50. And finally, pile number 3, you have this shungite, which is a powerful remover of negative energy, absorbing EMFs, cleansing, purifying, grounding. And we have the fox, number 25. So take your time and pause and review these piles, whichever one. You can pick more than one if you'd like, but I'll leave timestamps down below as I shuffle and go over some of the astrology here for the full moon. So we mentioned it's at 22 degrees Capricorn in the Shravana Nakshatra. The ruler is Lord Vishnu, and its symbol is an ear and 3 steps. So it has to do with spiritual elevation, learning, understanding, and elevating in consciousness. So let's see. There is a lot going on as well astrologically. Now, I know the 8-8 Lion's Gate is a thing in tropical astrology because they say the sun is in Leo. It's currently not. It's at 22 degrees Cancer. It will not enter Leo until August 16th. So also the star Sirius is located at 15 degrees Cancer and not in the sign of Leo. So this idea of the Lion's Gate, I'm not sure how it all got started, but still in ancient Egypt, they would celebrate the heliacal rising of Sirius, which took place during the dog days of summer. So anywhere from July, I think, 3rd to August 11th is the time frame. But the star Sirius will rise over the horizon at sunrise, depending on what latitude, what vantage point you have. So this year, around August 1st, was when Egypt at 30 degrees north latitude was observing Sirius rising over the horizon. But anyway, that was just a harbinger of the floods, the rainy season to come. So it was seen as a new year, a fertile and fruitful new beginning for the Nile River Valley people. So we are looking at the rebirth of something, the flooding of something, energy coming in, nourishing, feeding, growth. And it's interesting that we have this earth sign full moon right now. So I'm going to get our alchemy cards for each pile. And just glancing underneath the deck, we have the Spiritus Rector, or the Bee, the Benevolent Guide. So that's a good sign to have them nearby. With the symbol of this full moon being an ear, it feels like, again, your guides are going to be either whispering things to you, cleansing your ear chakras, something that might have been confused. We had Mercury retrograde until August 11th now, so that'll be going direct. There's a Perseid meteor shower that peaks August 12th. We also have a parade of planets lining up in the pre-dawn sky. That'll be Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, I believe. So those are also going to be making an appearance. Very busy week. Just not a Lion's Gate portal, so to speak, in my opinion. So, all right, this is where I'm going to stop shuffling, and I will draw additional cards for each pile as I go. But let's start with pile number 1, and I'll see you in your selected pile. Hi, pile number 1. You chose this Charwhite crystal and the elk medicine card. So let's go ahead and see what that's all about. So Charwhite's good for your third eye expansion, raising consciousness, getting downloads and connecting to spirit, clearing out your crown chakra. And the elk card, number 3, I'm going to start by summarizing that there. It is titled Stamina. Elk, your antlers reach for the sun. Show me that strength and stamina are one. This is a very masculine emblem. Obviously, the male elks have the large rack of horns on them, or antlers. And we just actually had the buck moon in July. This is the sturgeon full moon. So in Native American culture, I guess the sturgeon fish started to reappear in the lakes and streams that they could be hunted. So this elk, it has the ability to pace himself, to go the distance, to teach you to increase your stamina. So you may not be the first one to arrive at a goal, but you'll always arrive without getting burned out. If you've taken on too much recently, it might be a good idea to look at how you plan to finish what you have started without ending up in the hospital. So some of you, this might be time calling for you to take a break. This could be your guide saying, hey, it's time for a vacation. We need to get you back in order because you're burning yourself out. The elk card also speaks of a sense of community, getting a support group that might, in the physical realm, that can help you relate, find like-minded people who have maybe overcome similar challenges or feelings. It could be telling you how to look at how you are holding up physically to the stresses of your life. Pace yourself so that you can maintain an equilibrium of energy over the distance you plan to cover. Vitamins or high energy foods may be one solution, along with some personal quiet time for replenishment. We do have Mars in Virgo. That could be pointing you to take action towards your health, making that a priority, physical, mental, spiritual. Now moving on to your alchemy card. Ooh, the Void, the Aether. Okay, so number 42. That's speaking to me of the new moon. That's a fresh new beginning. So this is maybe the time things are being brought to your awareness, and it's saying, okay, you have 2 weeks to flesh this out, to take a break, to try and, I think, trim the fat from your life, whether it means just excess spending or people that aren't serving your highest goods or routines or bad habits. But this is a good time to clean all that out. It's giving you the opportunity to start again at the end of the month. And now that Mercury will be going direct August 11th, it's a better time to begin new things. Okay, so this is really telling me that your guides want you to sit in darkness and reflect. Find your center, find your peace. This is like there's a temptation to fill the void with a number of things, distractions. No, this is like time to sit with yourself and deeply reflect on what we're doing here. The book says, when the alchemist approaches the void, destiny shifts in the darkness. Like magnets, you are drawn to it as it is drawn towards you. Meditation is crucial at this time. Just sit and breathe. Surrender to the vastness. There's an electricity between you and the void that is sacred and timeless. From its center, everything is born. Okay, so I forgot to mention, because there's 1,000 things going on this month astrologically, we just had a coronal mass ejection and a coronal hole coming from the sun. So there is going to be a geomagnetic storm this weekend. So we have high solar energy particles coming through the atmosphere. The 8th, 9th, 10th, we could see auroras, minor electronic interruptions, etc. But this is, I think, real downloads coming towards us in this full moon, that we're being bombarded with these particles. You could feel more restless. You could have trouble sleeping. But with all this high energy, this is an encouragement for you to stay grounded and eliminate distractions at this time, because everything that this energy touches is going to be amplified. And we have this full moon with a yod pointing on Mars. Tensions could be high. People could be triggered easily because they too are probably burnt out and unfocused. So this is encouraging you to be the calm center of the storm. All right, so let's see what your tarot cards have to add. I did use the Syrian Starseed Tarot for this reading because of this alleged 8-8 Stargate Sirius connection. So let's go ahead and see what they say. The 7 of Cups. All right, well, there is a staircase there, stairway to heaven, right? An ascension. There's an elevation, level 1, level 2, level 3. There's an empty cup. That could be the void. Oh, but there's faces on it, I think. Anyway, 4, 5, 6. So as you level up, as you attain each milestone, you keep getting closer and closer to your ultimate goal. It feels like, again, with the elk, maybe it's like, yes, you have the stamina to make it up the staircase, but some of you may have felt stuck on level 3 or something. So there's a reflection that needs to take place. And this is the first time I've noticed this, but there's a Fibonacci spiral actually in the center of this card. So sacred geometry, divine architecture. It's all part of the same plan. I mean, you're going to have to relearn the same lesson over and over again until you let go of what it is that's blocking you. Or it's like abandoning the lust for results. You're trying not to focus on the 7th cup when you're only on the 3rd. It's time to focus on the 3rd. It's just like you're not energetically ready to receive level 7 information as a level 3. So you need to, again, slowly work your way up to this position before you can get to the top. Yes, it's exciting to want to be at the top, but it's the journey that is the most revealing about our stamina, our focus, our goals, and what creates our character along the way. So then we have the 5 of Cups. All right, yes, some disappointments or setbacks, some losses, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So we have 2 cup cards now. It is slow going, it feels. So some of you may have struggled with patience. Maybe you have some prominent placements in fire signs, Aries, Leo, or Sag. But this is a reminder, whatever cups you've learned these 3 levels, right? And now we're moving on to the next 2. There's more ahead of you than what you've lost. So I think it feels like your best days are still yet to come. Like once you get up here on the staircase, you'll be looking behind you going, I can't believe I thought this mattered or that mattered, along your journey. And you just get a more mature perspective on what you were learning and why, the people you met and why. But there's a great insight coming, I think, through this void, through this ability to take a break, meditate, reflect on what's been learned, how to avoid repeating the same mistakes or the same lessons over and over again. But there's a clear goal and feeling of elevation here that's ahead of you. No more backsliding. All right, and your 3rd card is the Master of Crystals. So that is the King of Coins. All right, so this full moon in Capricorn. Now we have the Earth sign King of Coins. Stability, healing, satisfaction. And it's interesting in this deck that, the 3rd eye of this crystal skull is illuminated, and here we have the Charoite. So this meditation, this collection, this clarity, helps you see that not everything you went through was in vain. It was not all for nothing. No matter how tired you felt or how many times you wanted to give up, it didn't matter, because you kept going. And there is room to rest here along the way. That's what the elk is encouraging you to do. Take a rest. If someone feels like you're on a Stairmaster, it's a never-ending cycle of stairs. When am I ever going to reach the top? And that's that feeling of sadness in the 5 of Cups. But this Master of Crystals says basically you already have in your mind. If you reach it in your mind, then the rest will follow suit. It kind of falls like dominoes once you begin this top-down connection to spirit. Remember when I was shuffling, if you skip the beginning, underneath the alchemy deck, we had the Spiritus Rector, the benevolent guide, right? I feel like this, you could be seeing bees or butterflies or, dragonflies, something surrounding you as an encouragement that trying to uplift you and help you feel supported, and less in this 5 of Cups loss energy and more in this accomplishment. Like, give yourself credit for the fact that you've made it this long, that you have lived this long to grow this amazing rack of antlers. You've survived many fights, many battles with yourself, with others, and now it's time for a break. It's like, I feel like this is musical notes, right? And you're reading sheet music. There's notes and then there's rest. It's the space between the notes sometimes that are more powerful than the notes themselves. All right, so I'm going to add a Rose Oracle here for you, pile 1. And we have the Sacred Union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. Well, we do have the 2 of Cups here that typically speaks of outer relationships. The elk was talking about support groups, mostly of the same sex, feeling comfortable in revealing things without judgment, or, maybe you can or cannot relate to people of the same gender or not. But this sacred union is within yourself. It's, again, taking that time to retreat, spending time in the void, helping your thoughts unite with your actions so that you can move forward in a meaningful way towards becoming this king of coins. So that's where everything, as within, so without, as above, so below. So according to Hermes Trismegistus, all is mind, right? That one of the 7 Hermetic principles. Everything begins in the mind. So, and I'm still looking at this lit up skull, this forehead, this vision coming from the third eye. And even her eyes are closed here in order to get in touch with and tap, just looking at the blackness at the back of your eyelids. I've seen interesting things just in that. I really feel with this Mars being in Virgo, focusing on our health, it's really focusing on the union within yourself, making sure, again, rebalancing your life so that you don't end up in a burnout situation or spiraling out of control, that you end up more grounded. This is a full moon in Capricorn. It's a perfect time to channel that energy from your crown into the ground and feel firm in your conviction on where you stand, in your life, physically or spiritually. And I was just unconsciously split this deck again, so you get a second card, and it's called the Crowning. Initiation, threshold, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. That's what this is. It's the crown. Being born again, out of the void. What does an infant see before they're born? Everything is blackness inside the womb before breaching the light and being illuminated. Now, for some of you, this could actually be speaking of a literal conception because we have a sacred union and followed by a birth or a crowning. So if that's not what you're looking for, take precautions. But I don't think it's meant to be quite so literal for many people. Just rereading this crowning card, a seat at the table. I mean, where does the King of Coins sit at his table, at the head of the table? A leader. Someone who takes command. I mean, even with the elk, it's like I said, that masculine leadership energy that is, I feel like it's your goal. It's what you're striving to maintain or attain. But feeling like with these obstacles in the way, you may feel discouraged, like I'm never going to get there. But maybe you're just going about it the wrong way. And that's why you need to tune in to your guides and ask, hey, what am I doing wrong here? What needs to change? What do I need to sweep out of my life before receiving my crown, essentially? Let's get a mystical wisdom card for pile 1. Children. Know that your children are protected. All right. So 5th house, Leo. And there's a cat there. So I mentioned the sun in sidereal will enter Leo August 16th. So this could have to do with your creations, creativity, childlike innocence, or returning to that, healing the inner child too. Or as a leader, you're going to have many metaphorical children, people that look up to you and follow your guidance. And underneath we have friendship, nurture your relationships. So that has to do with the sacred union as well. Inner and outer relationships. Look at your 7th house. Maybe you have some major planets transiting that right now. Your partnerships could be developing, deepening, and you could be just reassessing them. Maybe you have been over this Mercury retrograde. Who's most important to you and why? All right. And now for your Queen of the Moon Oracle. Oh, the unexpected, the blue moon, number 43. So we go from the void, number 42, to 43. And a blue moon is 2 full moons in 1 month. So this again looks like a portal. If you're observing this 8-8 Lionsgate portal, that could be an indication for you that whatever you're trying to manifest at this full moon is coming to fruition. And speaking of that, underneath the deck is 37, the harvest moon, fruition. So there is a powerful manifestation at play here because I think of the full moon in an earth sign as opposed to the 8-8 date. But yeah, expect the unexpected. Some of you might have an unexpected pregnancy. So, or just when you're on the verge of losing all hope, when you're ready to give up, when you're saying, I'm never going to get this 7th cup, a miracle happens. Something comes through, the dam breaks, the water comes forward, and it's just a flood of abundance. All right, I'm going to use my Making Magic cards here. What is unexpected for pile 1? What is the unexpected blessing coming for pile 1? What is the unexpected? Okay, well, 2 fell out here. The first one was perseverance. It harkens back to the elk message here. Motivation to keep going despite the odds, not giving up. And Felix Felicitas, power symbol to create lucky serendipitous events. All right, so maybe something, just a lucky windfall. You could win a raffle, a lottery, again, or you could have made a smart pick in the stocks. Who knows? But something is coming out. Or and then we have achievement, win the award, accolade, or contract. So either way, you're a winner this month, pile number 1. So have no fear. I don't know what, it's natural to feel this sadness in the 5 of Cups, thinking about all the struggles that you've been through to get to this point. But again, focus on the sacred union, the 2 of Cups behind you, the next step, the next level up. Okay. I'm going to finish this up with some angel cards for you. What does pile number 1's angels want them to know? Okay, I've got 2 cards here. Peace. Peace is coming. In the void, maybe. And vision. Yeah, clarity. Vision of the third eye, the charoite crystal working on clarity, connection to spirit, clear vision of where you're going, how you're spending your resources. And one more, presence. All right, so there is an angelic presence with you. They have not abandoned you, even though it may feel that way sometimes. Your benevolent guide is nearby. All right. Thank you, pile 1, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Oh, before I go, I wanted to see if I could roll a dice here, and let's see if we can get some lucky numbers. I'm going to do a 10-sided die, and we'll get 3 numbers for pile number 1. So we have 2, 1, and 2. Okay, so 2, 12, 21, 22, totals 5. So any of those combinations, you might be seeing a lot of 1s and 2s. Sounds like a new beginning for you. Or the 12th or the 21st may be important dates. All right, thank you, pile 1. We'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. You chose this marine agate. Water element for emotional healing and balancing, cleansing. And we have the alligator. These were shuffled for at random as well. So number 50. The title of this card is Integration. Alligator, let me drop my judgments, accept life with grace, so that forlorn care and worry will vanish from my face. Let me integrate each moment, digesting life with ease, counting all my experiences as equal opportunities. The powerful gift of alligator medicine is to fully appreciate and integrate all that life offers. Gator shows us the value of thoroughly digesting both the pleasures and pains in life. In many ways, alligator's medicine is reflected in its behavior. When Gator rolls under the water with its prey, its message is to roll with the punches when being attacked by life's circumstances. Carefully storing its prey under a log until the meat is tender teaches us about patience and proper timing. Choosing to laugh when tangled in your own seriousness can immediately diffuse the stranglehold of anger and judgments, self-importance, and inflexibility. Once your rigidity is removed, you are free to again integrate the present set of circumstances, finding what you may have formerly overlooked. Then you can learn Gator's lessons on how to digest the value of any life lesson. Gator encourages you to use calm, resolve, review your healing process and life lessons, integrating the growth you have attained. In all cases, Gator is telling you that something may have escaped your perception. Ask yourself what viewpoint or possibility did not get factors into your assessment. Did that missing piece of the puzzle keep you from having an accurate overview of what is now occurring? If so, it's never too late to reevaluate the situation for a more integrated and flexible point of view. Remember, Gator's eyes and nostrils are often the only parts of its body above water while it senses its surroundings. Gator integrates all probabilities before it makes its move. So there is some strategy to be had here. Make sure you're observing more than you're speaking. After all, the symbol of this full moon is an ear for the Shravana Nakshatra to listen and wait and roll with whatever is given to you. Whatever circumstance comes your way, you're going to either let it roll off your back and not affect you, or you're going to observe and get all the information you can before making the best choice. So let's move on to your alchemy card here. we have calcification. So that's number 64. I just got this image because the Capricorn rules the bones, the teeth, and here we have the alligator showing its teeth. Calcium makes your teeth, your bones, your structure. So maybe some of you need to go to the dentist or you've had dental problems, but let's see what calcification has to say. Or actually, it might have to do with what you're consuming, what you're eating. So changing in your diet, perhaps with Mars moving into Virgo, it might be time to reevaluate or restructure your daily life and habits. All right, so this definition is heat, fire, and desire. And alligators are known, for being aggressors. They're predators. They are doing what nature intended them to do. But reading this, it's kind of interesting in going with a water creature, a water stone. Part of this healing, I feel like a lot of for my pile twos is going to be releasing anger. You're getting a different perspective, again, like the alligator before making a decision. Maybe you won't be so hot-headed or quick to temper or quick to act. There's more to see because, I mean, in the past, it may not have ended so well if you went with the fire route. And now this soothing marine agate stone is teaching you to let things roll off your back. Let things, only go after that which really matters, basically. But it says calcinato is a great alchemical operation of fire. It occurs where there is enough heat in the vessel to transform the nature of that which is solid or fixed. How does calcinato begin? With a tiny glimmer, an urge, a desire that builds up in robust flame. On a psychic level, the stage may be uprising of emotion that has been repressed or dismissed. It wants something big to change, to be brought to the light and purified, perhaps a flawed ideology, institution, or outlook. Frustration and anger are wondrous change makers if their heat is channeled with space, time, and awareness. The transformation that occurs from calcinato is rarely harmonious. It requires commitment and a willingness to sit through discomfort as old patterns fall into the ashes. The flame initiates sacred change, and eventually the phoenix rises. The divine flame resides within, and it is yours to tend to. That said, doing so patiently and with support will lead to change that is holy rather than hasty. So no snap judgments, quick decisions. Again, the gator encouraging us to observe our surroundings, know when the timing's right to strike. And the gator even spoke of a missing piece of the puzzle. We did just finish a Mercury retrograde, so there might have been, again, a piece of information that was misunderstood or missing completely. And maybe you acted out of anger in that scenario, not knowing what you know now. And now it's time to, or this could be a future scenario. So before you find yourself in that predicament, lie in wait, observe, let the information flow to you before you make the most beneficial decision for yourself. Let's see what our tarot cards have for us. Indigo. Okay, so this is the Magician card. But they use an indigo child here as the indicator. So the spark of beginning. We talked about tending the fire within yourself. This child's holding this diamond fire inside. You're tending the flame, making sure it doesn't burn out of control. The Magician, with great power comes great responsibility because you have the power of the universe in your hands. And maybe you don't realize the impact, the ripple effect that you have on people, that your energy, your emotions. So in trying to balance or cleanse these emotions, it's going to change the impact that you have on people from this point on. But you definitely have a spark within you, a desire to change, to create, to grow. We have the sun moving into Leo August 16th. So that's the 5th house of creativity and children. And with Mercury direct, it'll be a great time to turn over a new leaf, so to speak. And then next we have the Sage of Orbs. So that is going to be the Queen of Swords. Powerful words, clear thinking, resolute decision making. There's an educated and enlightened state here. Again, acting from wisdom instead of emotion. And finally, we have the Chariot. Okay, so some of you might be coming from pile 1 because their stone was Charoite, or if you feel called to watch that, you might want to... It does kind of feel like a follow-up to that. This kind of feels like a precursor to pile 1 anyway. But Chariot speaks of movement, Cancer, achievement, victory, and ascension. There is an overcoming here of some maybe immature energy. emotional instability is becoming stable, becoming regulated. You're now driving the chariot. You have taken your emotional, maybe road rage was a problem for some of you, but you've gotten it under control. Things like that. It's just like the horses are no longer running away, pulling you in multiple directions. You're gaining control here as the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. We do have Jupiter in Gemini, expanding the mind, learning. It's a huge learning phase for people as Jupiter moves through Gemini because it's ruled by Mercury, right? Hermes, the messenger. And this feels like you spreading a message here, using your voice, using your experience or your wisdom gained in order to possibly help other people that are struggling with this or a younger generation. But there's something you're saying or able to speak that's absorbed more readily by the people who hear you. And we have the ear being the symbol of this full moon. So if this is not you preparing to speak, this could be, again, somebody that you are hearing speak. This is a master of words here. Someone who's very educated, experienced. They have a lot to say. And that might be what helps you regulate this emotional healing journey. All right, how about a Rose Oracle for pile number 2? All right. So this flipped over. There's 2 more cards under it. I guess I'll take all 3. So the Return, a new story. You decide. Alignment, it's coming together. You decide. Yes, as the magician, you hold the wand. You have the power. You have the sword to dictate where you're going. Healing the mother line, healing ancestral work, mother line, growing up. We mentioned a maturation here. Mystic Rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. Okay. So becoming more graceful in movement, action, thought, word. But it feels like it's you're returning to and becoming more aligned with your true self before things got out of control. And that might have to do with your feminine energy or your mother line or, generational trauma or curses that have been passed down from the feminine side of the family. But by you gaining control of this, this is Cancer. This is emotional fixed water. Not fixed water, cardinal water. But it's just moving full force with emotion ruled by the moon. And it feels like you're returning to a more rational, logical center state of things, something more air-like. Okay. So speaking of wisdom, how about a wisdom oracle for you? What wisdom for pile 2 from this Queen of Swords? Battle of the Blues, take step towards positive change. Again, struggling with those emotions. She's laying in a river there. She's feeling cleansed, right? I feel like maybe being in bodies of water, float tanks or an ocean or going tubing down a river, something where there's moving water that's going to kind of wash these feelings off of you. All right. Dolphin, don't worry, be happy. More water symbolism. Maybe some of y'all need a trip to the beach to get reestablished there, cleansed and renewed. That salt water is magical. All right. A Queen of the Moon Oracle card for pile 2, please. Okay. Discernment. Here we have another, feels very Queen of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy. So, number 10, using your discernment. How to dull out your emotions and when. I think even if you evolve to become a more rational, grounded, balanced individual, when you have an emotional moment, it's going to be more impactful than somebody who is constantly emotional, if that makes sense. But knowing when to show your emotions and when not to is going to be very helpful in navigating a lot of situations from this point forth. All right, I'm looking at that Chariot card. I'm sensing movement forward. So let's get this Journey Oracle going. Where's pile 2 headed? Or what message do they need along their journey towards emotional balance? Okay, take the leap. All right, so this is, I'm going to move that back. Reminding me of this card, the Return. New story, you decide, alignment, it's coming together. So having faith, taking a leap, trying something new. Again, as the magician, you decide which direction you're leaping, but as the alligator, you're looking before you leap. You're making a calculated decision of which direction you're driving your chariot. You're not just going, blowing with the wind and ending up wherever you end up. So there's more planning here involved. And the magician card, I'm going to grab. Oh. Right. Well, yeah, it has to do with balance again. It's coming up as a theme. 3 rays of light, balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. So that inner peace. Okay. One more. All right. The triple moon, embracing all aspects of yourself, the divine and the earthly. So again, maybe if you're coming from not maybe a past that you're not so proud of, it's still honoring the fact that you're evolving through that you had that experience, you survived it, and you have learned from it, most importantly. Okay, let's finish this up with some messages from your angels. What does pile 2 need to know about this emotional journey they're on? Okay, discernment coming up again. Okay, so which direction do you want to go, pile 2? This is really up to you. But it's going to require a little bit of faith, and it requires you taking control. Or maybe, taking responsibility for the fact that where you are in life now is a result of every choice that you've made up until this point. And there's some risk involved, right? Maybe taking the road less traveled, something unfamiliar. It feels risky. It feels like, I don't know how I'm going to do in this new place or this new position, but no risk, no reward. Okay. And we're going to finish up with some numbers for you. I'm going to roll this 10-sided die. What numbers does pile 2 need to pay attention to? We have number 7, number 3, and number 7. Okay, so 737. So you might be getting on an airplane. Or 37, the 3rd of the month, the 7th of the month, the 10th, or even the 12th, because 37 is the 12th prime number, and 73 is the 21st. So, again, I'm feeling a connection to pile 1. If you feel that, go ahead and watch it. All right, thank you for tuning in, pile 2. I wish you a happy full moon, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. All right, so welcome pile number 3. You have chosen this shungite material, so it's great for absorbing electromagnetic frequencies, negativity, cleansing and purifying. It's a grounding stone of earth. We have this full moon in Capricorn and earth sign, and the animal medicine that was randomly drawn for pile 3 is the fox, number 25, camouflage. So, fox, where are you? Under the ferns, becoming the forest, so I can learn. Are you watching, invisible to me, trying to teach me to become a tree? Wily fox has many allies in the woodlands, including the foliage, which offers protection and much medicine. Fox is seemingly able to vanish amidst the lush undergrowth of the forest. This flora is fox's ally. The ability to meld into one's surroundings and be unnoticed is a powerful gift when one is observing the activities of others. Another natural gift of fox is the ability to adapt to winter by changing color like a chameleon. Its rich white winter coat allows fox to blend into the snow when the leaves no longer linger. Fox medicine involves adaptability, cunning, observation, integration, and swiftness of thought and action. These traits may also include quick decisiveness and sure-footedness in the physical world. Fox's ability to be unseen allows it to be the protector of the family unit. If fox has chosen to share its medicine with you, it is a sign that you are to become like the wind, which is unseen yet able to weave into and through any location or situation. You would be wise to observe the acts of others rather than their words at this time. Use your cunning nature in a positive way. Keep silent about who and what and why you are observing. In learning the art of camouflage, you need to test your abilities to pull this off. Okay, so some of you, I'm probably a lot of air placements, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or stellium of planets there. We also have Jupiter in Gemini right now, expanding our minds, our learning capabilities, our wisdom. So a lot of you, this is encouraging you to move in silence. Again, don't telegraph your next move to people. Observe and wait for opportunity to come to you. And let's see what your alchemy card can add to this reading. So we have the Raven's Head, the Caput Corvi, number 47. So I believe this has to do with change, irreversible change. Yeah, so the title of this card is Initiation, the Ordeal, the Work Begins. Though alchemy is filled with a myriad of open-ended symbols, the Raven's Head has a precise message. It arrives to mark the beginning of the work. This card indicates something has occurred, known or unknown, to initiate the spinning of the alchemical wheel. With its mighty churning, things are about to change on every level. The Raven's work cannot be undone, just as the pill cannot be unswallowed or the pearl turned back to sand. You may be overwhelmed or think the journey ahead is not for you. Your doubts matter not to the Raven, as its appearance signifies it has chosen you. You are ready, and the moment is now. Can you go back to the way things were? Can you pretend nothing has changed? The Raven calls a clear no. It does not apologize, as it knows your destiny is great. Okay, so the side note here, it says the Raven with its trickster spirit. Now, who else is the trickster? A sly fox. He moves in silence. He confuses to outsmart his opponent. So, again, a lot of you are strategic, calculating, and silent. But also it has Mercury is the trickster, right? We had Mercury retrograde until the 11th of August. So now the wheels are in motion. Things are ready to go forward with your plan. So the trickster spirit has many symbolic interpretations. It's also linked to the Hierophant card in the tarot. So be on the lookout for a new teacher or mentor. The Hierophant's the fifth major arcana ruled by Taurus. All right, so let's see if that makes an appearance here. Or maybe... well, we still have Uranus and Taurus, so unusual or unexpected happenings in that realm could appear, especially with finances, too. What is it? Ravens and crows, they bring shiny objects as gifts to humans sometimes that feed them. They're very intelligent, and it's strange that I've been looking at this the whole time, right? I shuffled for all three animal cards, and I didn't show this to any other pile, but underneath you had the crow, right? And it's been face up for me this whole time, and now we have the raven. So black birds, black feathers, you could be seeing as this is your sign. It's a time to begin. Your initiation is coming. Things are about to change forever, but let's see which direction they're going. Or it could be, again, arrival of a teacher. So we have the Four of Cups. All right, so yeah, perfect. See, this person, the moon in Cancer, right? They're just unimpressed. They're bored. I've been here, done that. I'm ready for my next challenge. And out here, she's not even noticing. She is looking at the stars, though. If you watch the intro, I did mention that we have quite a bit of astronomical occurrences. There is the Perseid meteor shower happening at peak August 12th, a parade of planets before dawn. We still have the heliacal rising of Sirius occurring until August 11th, depending on your latitude is when it becomes visible. And then, so these things are arriving, right? There might be a lot going on externally that you don't see this opportunity or this offer being made to you. But again, like this crow bringing presents, bringing this dolphin. Actually, that's a dolphin. I thought it was a rock this whole time. It is a dolphin balancing a cup on its nose, doing tricks. All right. Because this card is ruled by the moon in Cancer, there is a new moon in Leo occurring at the on the 23rd of August. So maybe August 20th through the 22nd is when you're going to see this arrival, this gift show up. So next we have the Great Wheel. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune, ruled by Jupiter, which is in Gemini. The Ouroboros here, the infinite loop. But yeah, things turning for you. We mentioned initiation. A new cycle is beginning here. Even at an atomic level, at a structural, we have the flower of life here in the middle. It's a seed, right? The seed of life. Beginning something new, a seed, pearl, a gift. What is expanding for you? The Eight of Cups. Ooh, okay. Whatever this blessing that is coming for you, pile number 3, it's stay silent about it. It's only meant for you. You're the only one who's able to use this information. So I mentioned boredom here in the Three of Cups. There's boredom here in the Eight of Cups. I'm off to something new. I'm ready to start a new cycle, break away from the familiar in search of the unfamiliar, which is going to be way more satisfying and rewarding than anything that you've experienced up until this point. It's like you're planning your silent, maybe some of your quiet quitting, but slipping out of view of the public. You might be going on some hermitage, some retreat. You might be in search of that teacher, or that teacher might have suggested it to you. But there is definitely some kind of restructuring here, and it's in the form of a gift or a blessing. But it lays beyond the horizon. It's out of sight currently. Okay. Get a Rose Oracle for pile 3. All right, these two flipped out and they're stuck together. So the one on top is Sophia, Divine Plan, Wisdom, Intelligence Within, Destiny. Okay. I mentioned, air signs, intelligence, learning. There's something you're learning about your soul's journey, why you came here, your life purpose. It's that big coming around this full moon. Ready to set you off on a new course. And then we have the Thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. Wisdom, clear communication, Mercury direct. Okay, and boundaries, protection, that's what the Shungite's for. It's like where you're going, not everyone can follow. Whether physically or intellectually. I mean, again, there's some things that are just meant for you, that are meant to be pondered in your own mind. But this also feels like, guard the gates of your mind, right? Other people may be trying to, that trickster energy, right? Confuse, manipulate, get you off track. But this is saying that, no, you can't be derailed now. There is an intervention. There's something coming to give you clarity, to keep you focused on your course. All right, so a wisdom card for pile 3, please. All right. And we got the dolphin. Don't worry, be happy. Again, we had this dolphin delivering this 4th cup unexpectedly. So maybe dolphins are a symbol for you, or of the teacher that you come in contact with. Maybe a retreat to the ocean is in order for cleansing. I'm going to get a journey card here, because that 8 of Cups, man, that man is going somewhere. Let's find out where he's headed. Curiosity. He's going and exploring, again, opening doors that have never been opened before. With this Wheel of Fortune, it's definitely, it feels like a key turning in a lock. Something is becoming, it could be an expansion of the mind, too. Going where you haven't gone before, in the depths of your thoughts, or a deeper meditation, or you're looking into maybe secret, sacred knowledge that you never thought you would explore, or looking into the occult. Strengthening intuition here. Okay. Queen of the Moon, Oracle 4, pile 3. Self-love, number 6, 6th house being Virgo, Mars in Virgo. So it's emphasizing boundaries and protection too. Clearly communicating your boundaries is an act of self-love, saying, I need this time alone. I'm not interested in your distractions or what you're selling today. I am my number one priority. Realization. There's another keyhole here. And this is a book, right? So knowledge is power. Could be reading a very important document, or I flipped this over and will came out. So the reading of a will, I hope that's not the case, but it came up, so I had to mention it. Well, I mean, that could be somebody's gift to you, an unexpected, notification that sends you on a journey that you have to go meet with a lawyer, and you'll be getting a gift here from the Raven or the Crow, and that's the Wheel of Fortune, the unexpected gift coming towards you, saying, don't worry, be happy, don't cry for me, you know, be happy, follow your dreams. Here's a key to success, to unlocking some kind of greatness in you. Again, not saying that's happening for everybody, or it just maybe somebody needed to hear that. So the keyholes, again, also make me think of passing through a gate, like the boundaries being there. Something that was off limits before is you now have access to this information, or yeah, it feels like information. A wealth of knowledge. Okay. What do your angels and ancestors have? Okay, Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. Well, that might have to do with the boundaries too, and the self-love. It also just feels like your guardian angel looking down, you know, from above, if you believe in that, or looking through dimensions. Somebody's watching. Somebody's taking note and observing this journey. Some magic cards for you, pile 3. Healing, true healing of the mind, body, and soul. And the festival creates an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. Okay, something worth celebrating. Water, work with the element of water for healing, purification, and refinement. We had quite a bit of oceanic imagery show up in this reading. Okay. And let's get some angel messages for our pile 3. This might be the festival, an invitation, right, to a party. You know, back in the day or whatever, you watch Game of Thrones, send a raven, send a message, or, you know, people, carrier pigeons, an invitation coming on this 4 of Cups. Come join this. I mean, it might be a secret society or a secret party or an underground, you know, rave, whatever. It's like you are given exclusive access to something. You're being invited to a small, clandestine, secret group of people, or initiation into that. We have relaxation, though, showing up from your messages, from your angels. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you are getting away, taking a well-deserved vacation, possibly near water. We have flexibility. Maybe stretching is an important part of your daily routine, and remaining flexible to changing information, as well as patience. These all seem very grounded, feminine, receptive kind of energies. Healing, water, patience. Yeah, so this kind of piece is upon you. It's coming. And let's see what your lucky numbers are this month. Or this full moon, I should say. So I have a 10-sided dice here. We have number 9. Number 2. And 1. All right, so 129, 219, let's see, the 19th, the 12th, the 21st, the 29th, and those could all be important days for you. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this reading, pile 3. Let me know in the comments below. We'll talk to you next time, and happy full moon. Bye.